Hello, welcome to CompStud 104 Interpersonal Communication in the winter session of 2019. This presentation is going to go over some of the basics of the course. I'll introduce myself as an instructor. We'll talk about the requirements and kind of how the course is going to be set up over the next 24 days. My name is Dr. Karcher. I am a faculty member in the Department of Communication Studies at Bloomsburg University. I am housed normally in the McCormick Center on campus, but the best way to reach me during this session is going to be via my email, and I will be available most days by email. I'm pretty good about responding in a reasonable amount of time. But I'm also available virtual office hours. I find during winter and summer sessions that these office hours work best by appointment. So if you'd like to talk to me on the phone or you'd like to Skype with me, I'm happy to do that anytime. Just email me, send me some times that you are available, and I will be happy to meet with you and to have a discussion about anything in the course. You'll see on this slide I have a Purdue logo. That's where I got my master's and my PhD, so the Midwest is pretty close to my heart. Although I am from Pennsylvania, I grew up in northwest Pennsylvania in Erie County. You'll see here on this slide, this is my husband Brandon and my son Alex. So we spend a lot of time at the beach in the summer. Wishing right now, as I'm watching it snow, wishing it was we were at the beach right now. But yeah, so that when I am not in class, I am spending time with these two wonderful people. The textbook that we're going to be using in this course is the third edition of Corey Floyd's Interpersonal Textbook. It is my understanding that there has been some trouble getting this textbook through the bookstore. I'm working with that. If you are on campus taking other classes, there is a book on reserve at the library, but I am doing my best to get this available to you as soon as possible. I can put a couple chapters online. Copyright prevents me from putting the whole book online, but I do have a scan of the first chapter, so I will get that up on Bolt so that you can start getting your readings accomplished these first couple days of the course, so you can move through the rest of the assignments, and hopefully the bookstore will have your book available, the online edition, through their website today. Now I'm going to go over some of my general course policies. The course is pretty rigorous. I said 24 days earlier in my presentation. Technically, it's more days than that, but I kind of counted up all of the days that we are technically supposed to be in class. If you were taking this in the on-campus section. And just kind of divided that by the number of hours that the university for a 3-credit course suggests that you devote in and out of class. And that roughly comes out to about 5 hours of work per work week or per work day. So really thinking about taking some time each day to work through the materials. When we get to the schedule and the rest, kind of the setup of the course, you'll notice that I've split the course in half. And so we have 2 major due dates where I am going to have you turn in kind of the first half of the work. You'll have your first exam, and then you can have your work the rest of the second half of the course. I think with the kind of Christmas and New Year's and all of the time the classes that you would technically have off, the split class framework works really well for the winter session. Because of the accelerated nature of the course, I do not accept late work. So I really need, in terms for me to be able to grade and give you feedback, for you to turn in your work on those 2 due dates. Again, you have lots of time, technically 12 class days per due date, so make sure work your way through it at a steady pace. Turn things in early. Just because you have that due date on January 5th and the last day of class does not mean that you have to turn in all of your work. I ask that you actually don't turn in all of your work at that point. If you turn in your work to me, I can grade it over the course of the session and not just at those 2 dates. Again, I said earlier, email is the best way to get a hold of me, so you can email me any questions that you have, or if you want to meet on the phone or via Skype, we can set up a time via email that way. This is an online class, so technology is really important. Your use of technology, the university's Bolt site is going to be the primary portal which we will be using for the course, but you'll also notice I have some other tools like the PlayPosit tool, which you're using right now. So please think about technology failure when you're thinking about turning in your work. I again encourage you to do your assignments early. Don't wait till the final hour. Screenshot any assignment troubles that you're having. I'll be able to troubleshoot that the best that I can. If not, you can send those screenshots to the Bolt Help Center, and email me any assignments that are due before the due date if you're having trouble emailing or submitting them on Bolt. Just quickly, some university policies. Please don't cheat, plagiarize, misrepresent yourself in this course. That would fall under the university's academic dishonesty policy, and this will be reported through the appropriate channels in the PRP 3512. If you have any accommodative services paperwork, please hand that in to me as soon as possible. You can just email that to me, a scanned copy. I can start giving you accommodations as soon as I get that paperwork. I don't do accommodations retroactively. And the BU Writing Center is available, and you can email them if you need help. We don't do a lot of writing in this class, so I'm not sure that will be very useful to you or necessary. All right, so I mentioned earlier that your textbook is essential to the course, especially being the kind of individual instruction here. It's important that you're going to be reading your textbook. I will use these interactive lectures to go over much of the material, but you are held accountable for all of the information in your textbook when it comes to assignments and exams and things of that nature. We will be using Bolt. It's really important that you regularly check our Bolt webpage for any kind of announcements. Super important announcements like date changes and things like that shouldn't happen in such an accelerated course, but I usually shoot those out through email, but sometimes there's some other less important announcements that general feedback on assignments, things of that nature. Bolt outages, sometimes I update on any kind of troubles with technology that are happening on a larger scale. Bolt is a really great resource for that. And you'll be submitting most of your assignments through Bolt. The other tool that we're going to be using in this class is called PlayPosit. We're using this for your interactive lectures as you are using it hopefully right now. And so I have a Getting Started folder in which you found this this introduction lecture. In that folder is also some instructions that hopefully you've looked at to create your PlayPosit account. We do have a class for this course, and you need to link your account up to this class to be able to have access to all of the lectures. I have created mini lectures for each chapter. I know that sometimes sitting through a 45-minute lecture online isn't the most rewarding experience, so I've taken the chapters, and you'll notice in your schedule and broken them down into more manageable pieces. And I think that really helps students when they're working through this course material, especially in a winter course. You don't have an hour to sit down and listen to a lecture, but oftentimes you have 15-20 minutes to do that. So the chapters are broken down into multiple lectures, and your assignments are you need to listen and participate in every single lecture for each chapter. Okay, so this week you'll be completing a class introduction. I ask that you introduce yourself to me, to the class. We'll be doing some discussion work in Bolt this session, and so the class introductions kind of really help get to know your classmates as you're discussing the course content with them, and to get to know me, and for me to get to know you as a student, since I won't actually be seeing you on campus throughout the course. Again, interactive lectures, your participation in these lectures are worth 50 points. We are using PlayPosit. There's sets for chapters. You see the course schedule that's in your syllabus and online in Bolt in the Getting Started folder. Again, short and sweet lectures going over the material that you've read in your book. There's multiple checkpoints for a lot of this material as you are going through it, and as you'll be assessed on it in your activities and your assignments, your exams. I have individual activities that you'll be doing and submitting to me. Those are worth 100 points. And we'll also do Bolt discussions worth 72 points. So thinking about those as being another reinforcement of how we're going to apply and learn the material. And then you'll have 2 exams. Essentially, they're a midterm and a final, and they occur at the midterm and at the end of the semester. So here's just a breakdown of your grades in the course. Again, your 2 exams, the interactive lectures, your activities, your class discussions, and then your introduction activities for a total of 425 points. You'll notice this isn't a lot of points compared to some of the other classes that you may have taken in the university. And so it's really important that you stay on task, you don't miss assignments. Students struggle the most when they do not turn in assignments because every point counts in this course. You'll notice on Bolt we have a Getting Started folder. I have your syllabus uploaded in there. I have the course schedule, and I also have your Getting Started with Play Pause It instructions that you've hopefully looked at to get access to this lecture. You'll want to make sure that you're following that course schedule. I've laid out all the assignments, all of the readings, all of the interactive lectures. I have little check boxes. If you are like me and like to cross things off, you can use those check boxes to mark that you've completed those assignments. But just be really aware of working through that material. If you wait until the last 2 days, you're going to have a really hard time moving through that material. It's quite a bit because this is such an accelerated version of the course. Oh, sorry. So you want to click the course content link to get here when you go to the first page, the announcements page on Bolt, and then click the Getting Started folder, and that's how you have access to these documents. Hopefully you are aware of this since you've accessed this lecture through the Getting Started folder. I will this week be uploading all of your first half assignments here in the first half folder. You'll notice that we have a folder for interactive lectures, we have a folder for individual assignments, we have a folder for class discussions, and then your exam. And so this is where you'll find all of your information. When we get to the second half of the semester, I'll be have a similar folder where all the information will be laid out exactly the same way.